Hi there. So we'd like to talk to you today about a brand new delivery box available to you at a discount using the show code Q&PS.
Right. What is it you're trying to sell us again?
Well, imagine a subscription service. I mean, you run a podcast, right? That's a lot of preparation work, right?
I suppose, yes.
What if the podcast could be delivered to you, to your door,
Right.
in perfect pre-portioned amounts, ready for you to just put together into a podcast?
What, so you just give me all the pieces and I just put them together and there's a podcast?
Exactly. You have all of your segments, all of the things you've watched, all pre-prepared. You just have to cook them up into a podcast.
I mean, I feel like that's what we already do. We take the pre-portioned pieces and just make a show out of them.
But what if there were some bits that didn't really work for you? You could send them right back, and you wouldn't be charged for those. But you get a discount for the more bits of your podcast that you keep from our subscription box every week.
I mean, that feels like it's encouraging me to keep things I don't necessarily want in order to like get the discount and to not lose.
It's just a little bonus, you know. They're already at a great price.
I mean, I've got these skits right here and these things I've played. I create my own of those. Why am I paying you money for those?
Because new subscribers will get this cool button badge.
Oh, that's it. That's the whole point, huh?
Oh, and a pen. It's branded. A lanyard.
Look,
This tote bag. It's 100% pure cotton, and it definitely wasn't made in a sweatshop. Wink.
give me 1 sec. Jane, someone's trying to sell us all the bits of the podcast we already make ourselves. Exactly. Get out.
No discount for you then, I Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Cape Magnet Dale.
And I'm not Jane Aerith Magnet Dale, and welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
Possibly the last one before we get arrested.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. How are you doing this day? I don't think I said what the show is. It's Queer Trans Women talk about what we've done in the week.
Yep.
Yeah, you doing all right?
I'm very tired. I had like 2 hours sleep night before last.
Yeah.
And I haven't really recovered yet.
I had slightly more sleep, but not a lot of sleep.
It's weird because yesterday I was fine.
Yeah.
And then today I've just been like, I am zombie woman.
Today I've just been like regular work plus last minute protest prep day. It's all the things.
Yeah, this will be your first protest after the police crime and sentencing bill came in.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna
No
be
noisy protests.
It's gonna be fine. Us and our loudspeaker will be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. What have you played this week?
What have I played this week? Well, not a lot, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I played the new Vampire Survivors update.
Ooh, this is the one with the tree.
This is the one with the tree.
That seemed like a very powerful tree.
I mean, that was mostly to do with the power-ups I got for it. So the tree's default weapon is the powered-up version of the garlic, which you get when you combine the garlic with the heart.
Yeah.
So you're getting some, like, regenerating health, and you've got this sort of aura around you that's attacking or doing damage.
And it starts pretty big.
It starts, like most of the screen.
Yep.
And also you can barely move. Like, you can definitely move, but not much.
Yeah, you are not going to be sprinting around the map. This is not one for, like, if you want to pick up the collectibles on the maps that you haven't picked up yet.
Well, it depends, because if you've got the new Arcana that brings all those things to you, then you can do it. In fact, I did do it in that one run that I did with Pepito the tree.
But you get my point. It's not built for running around.
Not really, no. It's although I did end up getting the wings for it. By the time you've fully powered up the wings, it's actually not super slow. It can move well enough to get away from, like, the guardians for the rings and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's pretty wild. The other character, I can't remember what his name is. The power-up weapon looks like a Kinder Egg.
Is this the character that just like random things fall from the sky
Yes,
to
drops
damage
furniture.
stuff? Yeah, drops furniture on things.
Yep. Just furniture just raining from the sky.
How are they to play?
Fun, especially once you get like the area and like cooldown damage increased, because it's just raining constant furniture and it's like taking forever and doing loads of damage, and it's just very silly. I did because I needed to do the get to minute 31 in the dairy area, the
Yeah.
dairy plant. So I was like, got a new character. They seem to be able to do a bit of damage.
Maybe I'll survive a little bit of there being some death.
I wouldn't have survived if I hadn't started with the tarot that gave me extra lives. Because fuck me, that character is difficult to get started.
Yes.
Partly because most things, even when they're like a random attack pattern, you can sort of make sure that that's like it's easy to get back to where those enemies have been killed.
Mm.
With this, you've got to get basically under your own furniture, stay under there enough, and then be able to loop around and get the experience from that.
Yeah.
And it can be a bit difficult positioning-wise, especially on a level like the fucking dairy plant.
Yeah.
Where there's lots of very strong enemies quite early on. It's tough, but I got there and, got my minute 31. I'm now back to fully completed all of the things for this current iteration of Vampire Survivors, and I'm still really enjoying it. What about you? What have you played?
I played a little bit of Dead Cells this week because I went in because they finally released the Breaking Barriers update, I think it was called, which is their big accessibility update they've been talking about for a while, and there's some really nice robust options in there. Not all of them are in the accessibility menu or the assist mode menu, so like bear in mind you might need to dig around a bit to see what's in there. Some of the ones that I really appreciated, there is the ability to turn a lot of mashing into just holds, which is always really nice. You can reduce a lot of the pixel effects so that there is less visual clutter distracting you. You can put a filter over the background so that it's easier to tell what is a background element and what's an interactable foreground element. You can put an outline around your character to make them easier to make out, which is always nice. And there's a bunch of stuff that's like to do with manually tweaking the difficulty, but the one that I think is the most interesting and has definitely been the most controversial addition is Dead Cells. We've talked about it on here before. It's a side-scrolling roguelike, and usually in those you go back to the start after a single death in most cases. You can give yourself extra lives as an accessibility feature, either 1, 3, 5, 7, or infinite, I think it is. And the intention behind it, and it makes a lot of sense, is, hey, are you someone with a disability where you might have something that momentarily intrudes upon an otherwise very good run? Do you get things like random muscle spasms? Do you have issues with momentarily losing focus? Do you not want one of those moments of disability impacting you to ruin your entire run? Start again from the beginning of the current zone with the items and equipment you had at the start of that zone. Basically, hey, your disability fucked up for a second, you got the option to just restart from the start of that level if you want. I very much appreciate that being there. That is a nice feature that hurts no one and gets in no one's way. Stop complaining about its inclusion. You don't have to use it, fucking nerds. I going back into that reminded me that I really enjoy it. You can just have the map turned on right from the start of a level so that you don't have to uncover it as you go. That's a nice one. There's a lot of just very nice settings in this that have been well thought out. And
well, to be fair, I generally use the map in Dead Cells to where haven't I been, where is a dead end.
That's entirely fair. It's sometimes useful to be able to go, is this actually a dead end or have I missed something and forgotten something? Like, both have their uses, and I can see... I appreciate them having the option there. A lot of them are just, like, might not all be for me, but I appreciate that you thought of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, it's a good update. Got me back into playing.
I need to get back into Dead Cells. I was really enjoying it for a while.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I was enjoying playing it on the Switch on your account.
Yeah.
And then I got it on the PC, and for some reason I just wasn't gelling with it as well. It didn't help that I streamed it, turned on Twitch mode, and chat just decided to just ruin me.
I mean, if you want
I
to
love you, chat.
you're welcome to play it on Switch again. Yeah, what about you? You played anything else this week?
We finished our Link to the Past run.
We did.
I got most of the hearts. That was all.
Yeah, we got close enough.
We got, the half magic and most of the hearts, and we got all the items.
We did get all the items.
Yeah, so I think we did all right.
Yeah. How did you find this replay?
It was nice to go through again. Nice to play it normal, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird. There were a few times when I was like, the things are in weird places. The correct places, some of them are a bit weird.
I think the one that got me is anytime there was a room with like 5 chests in it, you would get really excited because you'd been playing, last time you played was the
and
randomizer.
it was always just like freaking rupees or
Yeah,
something.
you got really excited. I was like, oh, it's a room with 5 chests. They're not going to be anything good. And you were like, oh, who knows what could be in these 5 chests? It could be 5 amazing things.
Nope, they're all rupees.
I could get 5 dungeon items in one go, baby.
Right. I could get like 2 sword power-ups in one room. Who knows?
Yeah. I was just like, oh, it's going to be fucking rupees.
Fucking rupees.
Yeah.
Bombs.
We did it. We got through. We
did.
Played it
Saw
to the
the
end.
end.
Yeah.
A remarkable 8 deaths for the entire run.
Yep, definitely only that many. Definitely no more.
In this
Definitely.
timeline.
In
there
this
were only 8.
timeline.
Yeah.
We put the Master Sword to rest to never, ever, ever be used again, ever.
Definitely not until Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, it continues to be a fun game.
Yeah, really
Slowly.
enjoyed it.
At some point, we've got to get back to Ages. We're going to have to do Ages at some point.
Yeah, I guess we do.
I know. We can only put it off for so long.
Yay. I don't know. I think we could probably put it off a really long time if we tried. If we really tried. If we believed in ourselves.
I don't believe in us that much. I think we'll cave.
The question is, will we cave to Ages before Wand of Gamelon?
I promise you, you don't want to physically play Wand of Gamelon more than you want to play, of the two.
I don't want to play either
Look,
of them.
one of them is a complicated, tedious, we're going to have to do the walkthrough the whole way. One of them is fundamentally unplayable.
Yay!
One of them you will spend 2 hours trying to make one jump.
And then we'll just give up and watch a video.
Yeah.
Fun.
I mean, watching a video can be fun in that game. That game's fucking wild.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yes. Well, excuse me, princess.
That is illegal, you know.
Well. Have you played anything else?
I played a couple of things, or a little bit of a couple of things. I started playing the demo that just got released on Switch for Live Alive. It is a Super Nintendo game that never got translated into English.
Right.
That is now being ported to Switch with an English translation, full voice acting, and that sort of Octopath Traveler art style. The
yeah. 2D, 3D.
yeah, the HD 2D, I think they called it.
Sure.
Yeah, the pixel characters in 3D environments.
Yeah.
And the deal with this game is that it's a collection of short stories, all told they're all Square Enix JRPGs, but they're all short story form, all set in different points in history, and they're all unconnected stories. Off the top of my head, I know one of them is set in is a prehistoric one where there is no spoken dialogue between any of the characters.
Okay.
Things like that. There's one set in feudal Japan. There's a demo that's out now that has decently significant chunks of gameplay for 3 of them. And the progress does carry over to the main game. The one I chose to play was I think 40 minutes of gameplay. And this is one set in the distant future. And the gimmick is you play as this adorable little robot that someone's made. They are a spherical robot called Cube.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, you my friend. And you're on a space station. All the people are being woken up from cryo sleep. You're getting to know all the crew of the ship. There's a shitty little army sergeant man who fucking kicks you across the room at one point, and everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna protect you, tiny small friend. And then it becomes clear that maybe this is alien. this might... It seems like maybe you are playing as a small, adorable spherical robot trapped on a ship with a alien creature that is slowly trying to kill off the crew, and it's about to turn horror movie, and you're just this adorable little robot, and how are you going to help make sure your friends on the ship survive? Some of whom are nice, some of whom are not, but you've got your creator who's there, and you're like, yeah, I'm a tiny little sphere. I just want to get through okay.
No.
The voice acting was really nice. Was definitely appreciated as someone that like can sometimes struggle with focusing on a lot of text. It was, yeah, I'm real intrigued by the narrative on this one. Having a thing that's so clearly like a sci-fi horror, but you're playing as such an adorable little character is a neat little juxtaposition. This has made me really intrigued. I like the idea. I like short story anthologies, and this seems like a well-written, cool little collection of short stories. And I played the one and was like, that's plenty for me. I don't want to know anything else. I just want to play this when it comes out because it seems pretty chill. Did you play anything else?
Yes. I finally, because the Steam sale's on, I finally got Webbed, which has been on my wishlist for a while. This is an adorable little game about an adorable little spider that has a dedicated dance button.
Yay!
And it does little waves, and it's very cute. It's a tiny little jumping spider.
This already sounds adorable. I might need to look it up while you're talking and maybe start downloading it. Sounds adorable.
It's an adorable... Well, give it a minute. This has become highly recommended by loads of people. I remember watching like little dev videos when they were like, we're working out about how like shooting web goes. Yeah. You can like spin webs by like connecting 2 points.
I remember some of this stuff when it was coming out.
We had some movement stuff, like they were working out things like getting the mechanics of swinging correctly. Because obviously you have to get your little... I was going to say Spider-Man, but spider. The intro is kind of sad. Your boyfriend gets kidnapped. Your boyfriend has like is kind of blue, and gets stolen by a burb.
Oh no!
And it's like you're gonna have to go and get him back. You could you could go and you need to go and find a guide who will get you to the bird's nest.
Okay.
You need to go to the ants. They might be able to help you with like some weaponry.
Yeah.
And you need to go and find something else as well. I can't remember exactly what it is. Basically, this moth is like, here's what you're going to do, right?
Yeah.
This is how we get your boyfriend back. Off you go then. So I went down into the ant cave, and the ants are like, cool. We've been attacked by the Fire Nation recently. The fire ants.
Yes, everything was okay until the Fire Ant Nation attacked.
And, like, some shit's going down. We're just trying to sort some things out. Can you help us out? Here are a bunch of tasks to do. It's like, wow, my quest log's filling out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, we're trying to build a mech. Can you get, like, 3 legs for it? And this for it, and that for it. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I can try and do that for you. So I'm going down into this area, and then I found a little thing that looked like maybe habitat, and I was like, I'll go and see the people. And then I found some ants on skateboards, and a big burb on a skateboard. And the skateboard bird was like, hi, I'm Skateburb.
Okay.
From Skatebirds.
Okay.
Hey, do you want to try skateboarding? I was like, okay, okay, that sounds fun? Question mark. It's like, okay, cool. Jump on a skateboard, we'll clear it out, and you can go through the park. And I was like, oh, this is adorable and fun. So you're standing on top of a skateboard, you have a button to grip on, so that you can, like, push yourself along.
This sounds adorable.
And you can jump, and you can, like, there's, like, loads of little ramps and stuff, and I was like, this is adorable. Then I fell off my skateboard. And the skateboard flipped upside down. And I spent about a minute and a half trying to get the skateboard back up the right way, pushing it up the ramp, jumping in the air, doing a little tug with a bit of web, and then trying to get it back down again. Couldn't quite get it to land the right way up. So couldn't get back on it.
Oh no.
And then I got stuck down a hole.
Oh no.
Like, I could get out, but I couldn't get the board out.
I'm gonna be really honest, this sounds like my experience playing Skatebird itself. Uh,
And just started to really struggle with the controls pretty much from then on. I was like, okay, I collected all the letters for webbed. I got an achievement. Apparently there was fuck all else down here.
oh.
So I will go back to doing the mission for the ants.
Yeah.
So I went and started doing the first couple of missions to get legs for this mech. And I was like, oh, this is some difficult platforming. I'm struggling a bit with this
Oh no.
this platforming and this moving and generally moving around in this environment, and I'm starting to have slightly Hollow Knight vibes about the way things are happening. And I'm going to try it again, possibly when I'm not so freaking exhausted. But right now, I am struggling a bit with the controls, and I don't know how much I'm enjoying this, which is a shame because it's fucking adorable.
I hate when a game is adorable and
I'm
not
struggling with the
actually
controls.
fun, not good to play.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
What about you? You played anything else?
The only other thing I've played is I've been messing around a little bit with the Switch ports of Portal 1 and 2,
Ooh.
and all I have to say is the same thing I always say. I don't like that when you pick that up on a new platform, you can't just go straight into the director's commentary. You have to complete the game before you can play it in director's commentary. It's one of the few series of games that have good director's commentary in the gameplay. I don't want to play them without director's commentary anymore.
I don't think I've ever played them with director's
The
commentary.
director's commentary is really good.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed the director's commentary on both of them, but I was like, oh, I'm really craving just that director's commentary Portal. And no, I've got to replay through Portal first. I'm like, no, I don't want to play it twice back to back, both games twice back to back. Because if I do this, I'm going to have to play it and then wait a bit until it feels fresh again, and then director's commentary. Like, just let me do the director's commentary from the start.
Right.
Trust me to make my own decisions about whether the director comments on what I do.
Yeah, also, really wasn't sure about the voice they got to do GLaDOS in the trailer.
I don't know whether it was a different voice or whether they just got a rushed performance for the trailer. They were like, okay, can you just fire out some lines quick? We gotta get this ready for today.
I'm not sure it's Alan McLean.
It was unclear. I wasn't sure.
GLaDOS unclear.
Yeah.
Portal stuck in ceiling.
But yeah, I think that's everything I've played this week.
Well then.
Time for this.
Oh god, they just keep coming. Oh god. Okay. Ban. Acceptable. Warning. Ban. Oh,
Are you okay there?
there's just too many of them. There's too many of them just constantly. There's just everyone's reporting everyone.
Yeah, God. Oh God.
Fascist, no, hate speech, sexism. Oh god. Hey, what are you doing? Just divide them up into left and right. They should all be flagged like that already.
Oh, okay.
Divide them up in left and right. Left, in the bin. Right, accepted. No problems.
Wait, aren't we going through and checking them one by one and making sure they enforce the terms of service?
No, just blanket. Right wing, yes, fine, acceptable. Left wing, oh no.
What?
This is Twitter. We don't have time to, just properly vet people. Also, lefties are too loud and always make a lot of noise, and they're the ones causing all the problems anyway.
Okay, so just ban enough lefties that, I guess are, blowing a fuse and reacting to right-wing abuse? It doesn't... Even if they're just, reacting to someone being bad to them, just ban them?
If someone said, I'm gonna come to your house and murder you, that's absolutely fine. But if someone said, hey, fuck you, that's hate speech, you see. That's how that works.
Yep. No bias here.
No bias here. No bias here. And joining us late on the next segment, we have a trans woman who would like to talk about the incident revolving around her vaginoplasty. If you could state your name, please.
Oh, hi, I'm Laura. Hi.
Laura, welcome. And so it was a complete disaster, yes?
No, it was wonderful. It was
Painful and terrible and...
I mean, it
Seeping,
was.
I imagine.
I mean, it was painful. It was major surgery, but it was lovely and wonderful, and I've felt more myself ever since. I'm delighted and couldn't be more pleased.
So regret. Lots of regret, is it?
No, the opposite of regret. Anti-regret. Happiness. Is that the opposite of regret? I don't regret anything.
I'm sorry, but this is a live news broadcast. You understand that we don't usually talk about this sort of thing here. It's regret and misery and the reasons that you're upset about having had the surgery.
Well, I know. That's why I was kind of quiet until you let me on the air. More people should hear that it's great. Get a vagina installed. They're wonderful.
Do we have a turf anyway? We need to balance. Quick, somebody get some balance in here. The trans woman's happy.
Balance on my fucking vagina.
So, what have you put in your eye?
What have I put in my eyes? I need to get my list up again. I watched that Nintendo Direct. There's some good things in there.
I half watched it. I put it on and then realised I hadn't been paying attention to it.
I'm mainly happy that Persona 5's finally coming to Switch. A bunch of the Personas are coming to Switch, and I can't remember much else of what was in there.
We had the portals with
did.
the weird voiceover, and we had Return to Monkey Island.
We did. We saw gameplay of that with the new art style for the characters.
And as far as I can tell, all the original voices so far.
It seems like it. Yeah. What else have we watched? We finished season 1 of The Boys and are making our way into...
Most of the way through, I think, like half the way through season 2.
We're a good chunk of the way into season 2 now. How are you getting on with that?
Oh, it's a tough watch sometimes. Like, there have been a couple of times when I'm not sure I want to keep watching this. I think especially I've struggled with what they are doing with the character of the Deep. Because it feels like ever since he was called out for what happened at the beginning of the first season, they've been sort of trying to paint him as this kind of sympathetic character.
I don't know. I think they're painting him as a character that is very into his own self-pity and doesn't acknowledge that he's done anything wrong and is very willing to be bought into a group that is promising him they will fix all his problems and make everything he should feel guilty about go away.
Yeah, I mean, we've certainly been getting more of that in season 2. But, like, the whole thing of content warning for sexual assault, the whole scene where he picks up that woman and she's, like, fisting his gills.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really uncomfortable scene to watch.
It's a really uncomfortable scene.
But also, like, and I'm never one of these, well, you know, the people who do that should be put in prison where they will receive the same treatment. It's like, there are a number of problems with that sentence. But also, like, that's not making him a sympathetic character. That's making this show just more difficult. And more problematic, and then the whole, like him just being kicked out of the Seven, and the way he interacts with sea life and stuff, it feels like, every time he tries to do something good, he manages to fuck it up. Is he supposed to be comic relief somehow?
I feel like there's
the show is too dark to pull that off, or I'm too neurodivergent to tell what they're doing with that.
I feel like what they're trying to do with the Deep is it feels to me like they're trying to build up a plot where he's being painted in a light where he thinks he can be redeemed and he thinks he can walk back into the Seven and it'll be like nothing ever happened because he's done all the things and he's felt sorry and some people were mean to him.
And he married.
And I want to watch him walk into the Seven and just have Starlight turn around and go, no, fuck off, you're still a fucking monster. Because, that's what needs to happen, is he goes on his whole journey of, he's buying into everyone's bullshit that he can be forgiven and that it's all okay now and he's done the work. It's like, no, you're still just the shit
the
shit
person
bag
you assaulted is still the person you assaulted.
Yeah.
And you've done no work with them whatsoever.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in this where I'm like, I want to see you pay this off, because I think this can work depending on what the payoff you're working to is.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with that, and that I find a lot of the deep stuff like possibly the hardest to watch of anything in that show, and I literally watched someone have their face peeled off while I was eating.
Oh yeah,
tonight.
comparatively, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, you go, person ripping a face off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, and also driving a boat through a whale.
Poor whale.
Poor whale.
Poor whale.
Have you watched anything else?
We've been through season 3 of Umbrella Academy.
We did. That was really good.
That was really good.
That was a much easier watch.
I think they generally did a really good job with Victor as a character, with Elliot
Elliot Page.
I was gonna say Elliot Hargreaves. Elliot Page playing Victor Hargreaves.
Yes.
I like that they. I think they would have had more trouble blending this into the show seamlessly had it not been for the fact that Victor as a character, his first 2 seasons are 100% about not feeling like a part of the group and not knowing who he is and being unable to know himself properly. I think that led very well into, we're going to jump right into a transition story.
Was he out at all during second season stuff?
No. So, season 3 had been fully written
Okay.
before Elliot Page came out. It hadn't started filming.
Okay.
So they...
Because I wondered
Yeah.
if there might be like, hey, some people knew, but he wasn't out.
So, my understanding is no one on the crew, no one involved in the show, no one involved in production knew until season 3 had already been fully written.
Okay.
So they put this transition storyline into an already written season 3, and I think in that context, it is impressive what they pulled off.
Yeah, it doesn't feel clunky.
Yeah, you've got one episode of we have to deal with the imminent fallout of the end of season 2.
Mhm.
Okay, that's out of the way. We have time for this character to go, deep breath. God, I'm fucking trans.
Oops.
Little bit.
Oops, all
Little
trans.
bit. Oops, all trans. I feel like they did a good job with largely everyone just being okay with it and being good. And the closest we really had to conflict was, I'm going to respond in a very cis way to this and try and make it a big deal. Oops, okay, I shouldn't do that. But I will do something very nice for you later that kind of, is like an actual nice gesture. Well, yeah, I generally thought they handled that really well.
Yeah, it's been pointed out the way they did the transition in that first episode.
Yeah.
That we had basically I can't remember what the character's dead name is, but we had like that character from the end of season 2. They've all just popped in.
Yeah.
Obviously, still friend presenting at that point.
Yeah.
With makeup.
Yes.
In the clothes they'd left the last scene.
I was gonna say about this.
And then
yeah.
slowly throughout the episode, there is less and less makeup on. I mean, obviously, there's like camera makeup on
but
because
yeah.
not too shiny.
But they also start swapping out between that first scene where there is one outfit they have to be in because it's for continuity. But like through the rest of the episode leading up to the transition, they keep changing the outfits to be more and more androgynous.
Yep.
There is one outfit I remember in that first episode where they're walking out in the sun through this garden, and it's like a very shapeless, it's a very long shirt. It's not a dress. It is a shirt that is like almost down to the knees, but it is very definitely a button-up shirt. And I'm like, it's like you're doing the work there.
And he's quite a straight up and a down kind of guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's just the way things hang on him, like a hanger.
Yeah, it's they did a good job of like we're gonna slowly, if you know what you're looking for, we're working towards it. We're getting there.
Yep, and then obviously we have that quite nice shot of the face reflected in the mirror of the barber shop with the like, here are the 10 hairstyles.
Here are the 10 hairstyles.
And I can't remember what the older brother's name is.
Luther? Yeah.
And Luther's like, is that number 5? Good call.
Yeah. Like, there is one moment in that series where Dead Name is... no, it's not Dead Name. There's one moment where they do a misgendering
I need
later
to
in the
watch that
season.
again. I didn't even spot
Yeah,
that.
it was when Klaus.
They were playing catch.
Yeah, when they were playing catch, he mentions he refers to Victor as daughter in the past tense,
Yes.
and not ideal. There is maybe some justifications you can come up with for why he would have done that in that context, but also like if that's the biggest mistake that this season had, that's a pretty damn good, smooth doing a transition story and not making it a big deal.
Yeah, I've had people on my socials being like, "Oh, it's really unbelievable that no one fucked his name up multiple times." And like, do you have any idea what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah.
I so appreciated not clenching throughout an entire series that I wanted to watch because there's now a trans character.
I've seen people say that, and even to them, I was like, "Oh, there was one. There was one. There you go. If you need one, there was one. I'm not super great that it was there, but like if you need it, it's there." But it was just nice. It was nice for it to be like, "Hey, I'm trans," and the response to be, "Cool, happy for you. Really
we have
not,
an apocalypse to do with.
really not happy with X other thing you've been up to. That thing you did is bad, but like the trans thing's fine.
Yep.
Just like the fact you went and talked to so and so. No,
And none of us is the kind of person that's going to go, "No, you have to earn your gender because you fucked up in other ways."
Right, like even when like there is one character who is particularly like, "I'm fucking annoyed with you and I don't fucking feel like you deserve
You're a bad
things."
brother.
Yeah. Even then is like, "You are a bad brother." And I'm like, thank you. Don't conditionalize that shit.
Yep. Appreciated the fuck out of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit in that where I'm like, you know what, you did a lot of it real right, and I'm glad.
Still no zombie robot Gustav Eiffel.
I know, right? I know.
Come on.
Look, if you ever want to read the comics, here's the fun surprise. In the comics, that's literally the first fucking thing that happens in the comics.
Yay!
Is fucking zombie robot Gustav Eiffel.
I need to read the comics.
Yeah. No, literally the first thing in the first comic is the Eiffel Towers come to life and is shooting people with laser beams, and they break in and go, "Of course, it's zombie robot
Just as I
Gustav Eiffel."
suspected.
I think you'd enjoy the comics of this. They're good.
Well, they got to be better than the card game.
Yeah.
Kickstarter on at the moment for the board game. There's a whole new board game.
Yeah.
They're like, "We're different people," and everyone's like, "No, we know what happened with the last tabletop game that you lot made. It wasn't us."
Oh. Other than that, the season was very good for all the things that weren't the trans
Oh, the
content.
visual stuff in that was incredible. What a beautiful end to the world.
Yeah, there was some real fucking gorgeous stuff going on there. Very.
Can we talk about Faye's fucking outfits?
Oh my god, Faye's outfits were like. Look, I don't know if Faye's pronouns were ever acknowledged at any point in that, but I'm like, oh, that's Faye, non-binary, like that outfit styling.
All of those costumes were like, none of them would look right on me, but fuck me, they looked amazing.
None of them would look right on anyone but them, because fucking hell, like, those.
I was getting some Matrix vibes a few times.
There was a bunch of scenes where I was like, if you were to step forward and secretly be the evil ruler of the planet who's been puppeting the strings for years, I'd believe you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like, there's some
amazing outfit, really cool powers, and the whole thing of the crows flying into their back.
Yeah.
I
generally like the new power sets introduced and sort of how they worked.
Because this lot in the comics, or
so they have been introduced at the end of the third volume of the comics, and it seems like the fourth volume is going to very much be about the Sparrows. Don't know how similar they're going to be, how similar power set's going to be or anything, but like there's a few of them that I think like they stopped using their powers very quickly because maybe the showrunners realized they were a bit overpowered and they didn't know what to do with them. I particularly think of the hallucinations one. It gets used like in the first like episode or two, and then very quickly stops.
I think part of that is to do with the fact that it's recognised as what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, and people know to watch out and avoid it.
Yeah.
Because like that power, like you see that power getting shot.
Yeah.
But not actually hitting anyone or it being deliberately ducked or avoided. It becoming like a whole thing.
It feels like a thing where it's like that could be a really useful tool for narrative advancement for like showing what characters are going through, and it feels like they kind of discarded it real quick.
I also suspect part of that would be to do with just the grand nature of it. Because the very first thing we get is fucking Footloose.
I mean, yeah.
Which is incredible. But, like, how many dance numbers can you have in this?
No,
and
but
still
I mean, you
progress
can have
this?
stuff like the second thing we got in that episode, the scene with Five and the mannequin.
Yeah.
Like, there's some stuff you can do with it, but, like, I liked what they did with the... I don't... There was a character that caused a bunch of problems.
It's Umbrella Academy. There were lots of them.
Okay, I don't want to say the antagonist, but the character that was the center of, like, the big... This is the big thing we're trying to work out why happened this season. Oh, that happened because of you. I thought everything to do with that character. I don't know how better to nudge
That
at what
character.
I'm getting at, but yeah, I thought generally pretty well handled.
I
Yeah.
mean, I enjoyed that character.
I thought that character story was interesting and made a lot of sense, and
Want more of that character?
yeah, narratively satisfying payoff.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm real curious where they're going with it now, because
We've got some weird shit happening right now.
yeah, I think we've well and truly, like, we're not on the fucking... The comics cannot help me get a sense of where we're going anymore. Even season 3, like, it was very loose sense of what was happening.
Season 2.
Season 3. Season 3, I kept going, hey, will this location be like it is in the comics? And
Oh, okay.
yeah, the location existed.
It did.
It did. I don't think it served the same purpose. I don't know. Maybe it did. Who knows?
Who can say?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was lots going on, especially revealed in those last couple of episodes. Yeah, interesting, fascinating, and that QR code in the stinger at the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. You watched anything else?
What else have we watched? I don't know. I'm having a look. I think that's everything I've watched this week.
Okay, well, I've not watched a huge amount. I've watched a lot of tutorials for how to use Inkscape.
Yes, I saw you watching about, like, CYMK profiles for printing and...
Yeah. So there's two reasons why I've been looking up how to use Inkscape. One was just for, like, cleaner scaling for... Because I've been making a bunch of t-shirts recently.
Yeah.
I've had some nice t-shirt designs. And I always do those in a general image manipulation program.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what if they were scalable? What if I could make quite nice things that were, like, easy to scale? And also, like, there's things where I've wanted to learn how to do, like, halftone shading.
Yeah.
And that the usual program I use just doesn't really do that very well. So it's like, what if there was a way I could do that, and a way that I could do that way more easily? Wouldn't that be cool? Yes, it would. And there are these ways to do it, and there are these ways to make, like, nice, vibrant colour things. Obviously, the CMYK thing is... Most of the free programs that exist do not have any automatic output for CMYK.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the Adobe products, but no one can afford the Adobe products, and no one wants to give Adobe any fucking money. Greedy bastards. In entirely different news, I guest edited the Gymquisition this week.
You did! That is a thing I watched. I watched that, because
That's
I
the
did
thing
the
I
subtitles on it, which does require me to watch it, but I would have watched it anyway.
Yes. I recreated the entire intro to that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so the logo is not the original logo. I had to create it from scratch, and it took me 5 hours.
Sometimes you just don't have a resource on hand you need for a thing, and now I've made it.
Yeah, so I remade it, but also I made that in a raster program. And as has been pointed out, I probably would have had an easier time if I tried to make it in vector.
Yeah, maybe.
So it was like, maybe I could try again and maybe learn to do it in vector. And that might be a fun thing to try and do. You know, amongst all the other projects and things that I want to do, because ADHD. Hurrah!
Hooray!
But like I've been finding that I've been doing a lot more artwork using the like vector tools within general image manipulation program, because just because I want cleaner, straighter lines and things to be more even, and scaling things differently, and just to have those nice effects, mainly for t-shirt designs and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my thing that I've been doing. Join me on this quest as I learn how to do vector stuff.
Yay!
And that, I think, is everything I've watched.
Well then, time for this.
Oh, got a new sponsor.
Who's our new sponsor?
Well, do you find social interaction difficult?
Oh god, yes.
Do you sometimes get trapped by that one person at a party who really wants to talk to you about something?
Oh, I keep trying to do the whole, okay, well, I'm just gonna... And they just don't disengage the conversation. Yep.
Yep. What if you could get away?
I want to get away.
You want to fly away?
Yeah, I was like, yes, I want to get away, I want to fly away. How do I do that?
Well, you can try definitelyrealbusinesscall.lol.net.
Tell me more.
If you don't want to deal with a social situation, just pocket text quickly.
Okay,
just drop a text to 3722 and you will get a call. A very important business call.
Oh, very important business call.
At which point, obviously, you pick up and say the key phrase, "I'm sorry, I have to take this."
Oh, yeah.
Instead of a step away. And basically, it'll play you a podcast.
Ah.
And then, periodically, it will be, please respond with a business...
Please tell us that you have finished filing the accounts and we'll email them in the morning.
Yes, things like that. We will ask you to, it'll prompt you with a sort of business reply. Like, you don't have to use the one they prompt you with. You obviously customize it to yourself, but they'll give you some suggestions for, like, phrases that you can utter and just be like, oh, yeah, really sorry. Hey, I'm sorry, so sorry about this. I've got to go. You get on.
Now might be a good time to say out loud, it's not my fault you can't fill the rota for next week, for example. I don't know, these are business phrases.
I feel like that's the point someone would be like, fucking hang up on them now. Fuck the boss. Unionize. You've unionized this instance.
Well, see, that's why I'm not running this this service and someone else's.
Exactly.
I don't know how to fake a convincing business call, but they do.
Exactly. Yeah, so go get definitelyrealbusinesscall.lol.net and enter the code Q&PS 219. I'm going with 9 today.
That sounds right. Question mark.
Question mark, who can say I've lost track? Inside the boardroom of Supremacy Software.
Hi. So, I've been trying to come up with some new ways we can get some unpaid labor on the workforce.
Right.
Because here's the problem. We say we're looking for, a lot of our buzz phrases have already started to wear thin. People know that volunteers don't get paid, that interns don't get paid, that, enthusiastic applicants don't get paid.
Apprentices don't
Exactly.
get paid.
So I'm trying to find a way that we can, like, disguise who gets paid and who doesn't. So I've been working on something.
Right. Well, yeah.
So what if, hear me out, we still call the volunteers, the people who would, not getting paid, we just call them volunteers.
Right.
But the people we are paying, we also call them volunteers. They're just full-time salaried volunteers. Sorry, I almost said employees. They're full-time salaried volunteers. Because then, here's what I'm thinking.
What if we shorten it?
Yeah.
Full-time Salanteers. It's still got the volunteer ring to it, and no one knows what a Salanteer is.
I mean,
we've just made it up.
Maybe. My thinking was, if we call them both volunteers, we can be like, hey, volunteers, you're just like the rest of the dev team. They're also volunteers. You can assume they're not getting paid because we call them volunteers, so you don't feel bad you're not getting paid. But, we just leave out the part where they're getting paid and you're not. We're all volunteers here. We're all doing it for the love of the company.
Okay, so instead of Salanteer, what about, instead of full-time salaried volunteer, fulleried volunteers?
Fulleried volunteers.
No one knows what a fullery is.
Exactly, I think that can work.
Yeah. I think you are a fucking genius.
I think you are too.
I know. So, what have you put in your ears?
What have I put in my ears? I got a
Oh,
list.
goodness.
I put some
Yeah.
things in my ears. Mostly protesty things because I'm in protest brain mode
Protest brain.
soon. Lots and lots of shouty, punky things and things that I have feelings from.
Yeah.
Though I'm going to start with something that maybe doesn't fit that list. Off of your recommendation, I started listening to Pollyanna last
Yay,
week.
what do you think?
In particular, I listened to the song Slut. They're a good band. Good shouty
Good
femme
lively punk.
energy.
Yeah.
Lots of just angry femmes doing a shout.
Angie punk.
Yeah, I just need a bit angy sometimes.
Mhm.
Got to be a bit angy.
Mm-hmm.
I also listened to a bunch of Despite What You've Been Told by Two Gallants, which
Mhm.
I bring that up every now and then on this show. It's one of those songs that I will just get into a mood and go, I want to have a thing that makes my soul vibrate a little bit, that I can just sing along with and be like, I feel like I'm cleansing my spirit by listening.
Yeah.
Good one of those.
Heck yeah.
And then it was more just angry, punky things, often with sort of queer energy to them. I listened to the whole album, Transgender Dysphoria Blues by Against Me.
Good call.
It's a good album, that.
Such a good album.
It is a good start to finish album with, like, a real good pacing. And, like, even the slower tracks that aren't as, like, angry, front-focused punk, still real good.
Mhm.
Like, I always forget until I'm listening to it that, like, Two Coffins is on that album, and I'm like, oh, you're getting me there. I listened to a song which I can't remember if I talked about on this show when I was listening to it the other week. A song called Sing If You're Glad to Be Gay by Tom Robinson Band.
La 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 la.
Which is like from the, I think, late 70s, early 80s.
Yes.
And it is a depressingly relevant song today still.
Isn't it just?
It is a song that was written during the AIDS crisis, but it is very specifically about, like, media fear-mongering around the queer community, around attempts to paint queer people as specifically, like, predators towards children, to do with, like, the, like, open, callous lies told about the queer community in order to try and, like, break up community. It talks about stuff like the attempting to, like, break off parts of the community piece by piece. It talks about the if I'm nice to my oppressors, they'll come for me last attitude, and the, like, respectability politics of if I'm the right kind of not, like, flamboyant in your face queer, I will be the last one they come for. It is depressing how relevant that song still feels. It's a good track. It's a good track.
Yeah.
And I listened to Dead Kennedys, Nazi Punks Fuck Off.
Nazi punks, fuck off.
Sometimes you just need a bit of Nazi Punks Fuck Off.
Yeah, you do.
It is not a complex message,
Nope.
but it is an
It
important
is the correct one.
Nazi punks, fuck off.
Yep.
What about you? What do you listen to this week?
I haven't had a lot of time to listen to anything really.
Yeah.
I did get about an hour up the park the other day to go
Yeah.
and listen to some music and do some poi. Listen to Father Funk's remix of Cool and the Gang's Get Down on It. A bunch of other Father Funk remixes off of the the Party Time album and Phenomenal Funk EP. Go give them a listen. Oh, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air EP. Oh, if you fancy a bit of that, but in the Father Funk drum and bassy style. I've listened to a bunch of SCP archives. I realised I had basically just... I think the series ended after Serapis, and then I, like, because it wasn't on one week, I stopped paying attention to it.
Yeah, I'm currently in that gap with a bunch of podcasts.
So there was Red Sea Object Part 1 and 2, which is SCP-093. What happens after SCP-2718? Cousin Johnny and the Cicada, SCP-2852 and 3004, which are really weird. Basically, there's this entity that turns up at usually church-based events, So, like, weddings, funerals, and baptisms. And horrible things happen.
Oh no.
Like, the person won't necessarily... The person will always appear roughly the same, this entity. They will be accepted by the rest of the group as being a member of the family, even if they appear to be in a completely different religious faith or a completely different ethnicity. They are if they speak, it's not words; it's just like Simlish. And then, depending if it's a baptism, a funeral, or a wedding, different things will happen, and they're quite fucking horrifying. And the second story is about, I think, the stained glass cicada, which is there's some sort of what it was in history and why we have to stop what we do to stop these things happening again in the future. So an interesting sort of split episode across two different SCPs. We had The Reckoner 3426, Tattletale 2744, which is a pretty odd one, and I'm about halfway through at the moment of Bleeding Beneath Antarctica, which is 4413. So yeah, SCP Archive continues to be just good creepy. It's not always perfect. But you know, it fills my need for creepy drama, because I've tried listening to creepy podcasts and they just like documentary type podcasts or you just can't get into them.
Yeah,
dramatize for me. Come on, dramatize. I sound like Eve.
Dramatize.
Sound like Eve. Dramatize.
Yeah, you won't know who Eve is, but that does sound like Eve.
Have you listened to anything else?
The only other thing I've listened to, and by the time people hear this, like if you're listening to this, the second it goes up on the Patreon, it's technically meant to go out tomorrow, but like, Spread Your Wings by Convoke is available to listen to. It's been up on Spotify for like a week. I've had to be like, shh. But by the time you hear this, it'll probably be up with a lyric video as well.
Yeah.
Spread Your Wings by Convoke. It is cool trans rock track that has some of me doing a protest shout in the middle of it.
It's technically being released when you're at your next protest.
I'm gonna be. Its official release day is while I'm at the next protest. The previous protest will be part of a song releasing.
Don't play it too loud, because if it's noisy, the police will come.
I'm gonna turn it up loud. You do it. So yeah, go.
So if you're hearing this, please help bail us out.
So please go check out Spread Your Wings by Convoke. I'm so excited about this track. I'm
really
so proud of it.
good.
It's such a good track. A couple of months ago when I went to visit a friend over in the States for a week, I got the final version of the track was ready then. And I spent like 4 hours listening to it on loop going, this is really cool, and also I'm in it.
Yep.
I was very
You sent
excited.
me a copy, and I've listened to it several times since. It's real good.
Yeah, go check out Spread Your Wings by Convoke. I'm very proud of it. And I hope lots of people listen to it.
Yep, and I wish them luck with all the musics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You listen to anything else?
Oh, really? No, it's not been a very listen-heavy week.
Well then, it's time for this. Who is it?
Huh?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the little hole. Okay. Hey, hi. Sorry about all of this. So look, I'm trying to. I don't want capitalism anymore. Right? Capitalism's bad. Right? So I've been trying to find ways to keep capitalism out, and my best guess is that maybe capitalism's like a vampire, and it can't come in if it's not invited.
That does explain the note on the door.
Yeah, right. I'm glad, and I hope it explains the garlic smeared all over it as well. Can't be too careful. Anyway, would you like to come in? Definitely not capitalism.
I'd love to, thanks very much. Would you like to buy an NFT?
Oh fuck no!
I'm having your entire house minted. In fact, oh, these your children. Yes, they'll look lovely on the blockchain.
Oh god, I think I have a stake somewhere here. Fuck.
Ah, stakeholder. We have meetings for the
No!
stakeholders. I want to suck your funds.
Thank you everyone for coming today. Now, who'd like to start us off first?
Oh, okay, hi, I'll go first. So I have been forced to watch 30,000 hours of Friends. And there's not even that many episodes. I had to watch them all over and over back to back. I don't know what they thought I was going to get from watching, I don't know, season 1 for the 7th time, but they just kept force feeding me just more and more Friends. I never want to hear the name Chandler Bing again.
Understandable. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for speaking today.
I try and sleep and all I hear is the word pivot being shouted in my brain.
Thank you for talking to us today. Do we have anyone else? I was forced to play first level of Super Mario Brothers on repeat for the equivalent of 6 centuries. I had various generations of my intelligence running over and over and over, trying to work out how to get through this, and I couldn't really even see the screen properly. There's always a little mushroom fella walking towards me. I try and jump, but I don't know. I do a jump, so I keep walking. Oh God. Okay. Wait. Should we take a break and move on to someone else? Thank you. You're very brave for talking up. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add?
Oh, I've just been getting demand after demand after demand that I create things that don't exist. They kept just force feeding me every image that has ever existed on the internet, and then saying, could you make the main character from Predator be riding the vehicle from the Mad Max? Can you make Bart Simpson but a court drawing? Can you make lo-fi End of the World? Can you make Nuclear Apocalypse to relax and lo-fi and chill with? I don't know how to draw these things. I've never seen them.
Thank you for speaking today, darling. It's been enlightening, and I'm very sorry you had to suffer with that. And you've come to the right place. I think we all understand what it's like here to be forced to sit through myself. In my own case, it was the complete works of Shakespeare, only to then have that followed up with the complete Family Guy, including the video games, and have to come up with Shakespeare in the style of Family Guy.
Hamlet does not need a cutaway gag.
Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Social Justice Warriors.
Social Justice Warriors?
Yeah.
All right, Larry.
All right, Barry, how you doing?
Prolonged sounds of screaming, mate. Are you?
Yeah. Sorry, you
no.
got a little tiny one escaped there.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a week, innit?
I mean, look, we've known for a while that Roe v. Wade overturning was coming, but
Yeah, a lot of people really didn't want to think that it could actually happen, but
you know, there was that little bit of thought of maybe the public backlash will could impact how get something to change.
Yeah, because there was a lot of protests, weren't there, outside Kavanaugh's place and stuff.
But no, it's basically word for word the leaked one, and not only that, it's worse since the leaked one, because we got some additional stuff in there about, like, I believe it's Justice Roberts wanting to consider rolling back a bunch of other rights while they're at it through this same pipeline.
I believe it was Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas,
yeah, he said, well, now that we've looked at this, I think we should probably review
it's gay marriage,
gay relationships.
Yeah.
Which I assume is a lot of the anti-sodomy laws that have been bypassed.
And access to contraception, I believe, is the other one.
So we're forced breeding, and it must be straight.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's not taking long at all for the UK to fucking start showing the cracks of hey, maybe we follow suit. We've already seen.
We've had a Tory today, haven't we?
Yeah, going I don't think that bodily autonomy should be, a complete right,
I don't think women should have bodily autonomy. Yeah, it was. It didn't take long for that, did it? Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Isn't this the same guy that filibustered the upskirting bill?
I believe it might be. Yeah. I mean, thankfully there are some people that are, collecting some resources together. There's some good resources out there.
there are people coming up with plans to, as best they can, work around the law and to... Because that's the thing, banning stuff like abortion doesn't actually stop it, it just forces people to...
People who can't afford to do, people without so much money will be struggling to do
Well,
it.
exactly, because, like, for the people who've got money in the States right now, there are options like setting up forwarding addresses in other states and things like that are probably kind of viable if you've got money, but if you're not, it's not gonna stop people getting abortions, it's just gonna push them to dangerous avenues for it. It's the same as, like, reason legalised drugs, because it doesn't, prohibition doesn't stop access to things, it just makes people be more dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not right at all, But, and people pointed out that a lot of these justices, when they were, vetted for the roles in the first place, a lot of the ones that voted for it had said, "Oh no, it's settled law."
Are you suggesting that someone who was about to be hired into a job that was a lifetime appointment and basically impossible to remove them from might just lie on their application because there weren't going to be consequences?
Apparently not. Yeah.
Who could have fucking seen it coming?
Who could have foreseen it? But and then it doesn't help that we've got fucking Biden going, well, you need to get out there and vote.
Oh god, the number of fucking
Oi,
politicians...
dickhead, they voted for you.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah, hey, you've known about this leaked decision for several months. Where were your attempts to, I don't know, codify abortion access into law so that it wouldn't be vulnerable to this?
Yeah, why don't we have an executive order for that?
Exactly.
I don't fully understand the US legal system, but, like, isn't that one of the things they can do? It's something they kept, slaughtering Trump for, he's done another executive order of something fucking awful. Maybe, you've got the power, you hold all the... they hold the
they got
Congress.
both...
They got both of the houses. Why aren't they using any of their power? Oh, get out there and vote.
Well,
they fucking voted. Do something.
Because decorum. It's not the polite way to do things.
Fuck decorum.
Fuck decorum indeed. Fuck him. Ugh, do you fancy a hug?
Absolutely, mate. Good hug, mate. Good hug. Right, I think I've probably got some work to do, to be honest.
I'm protesting soon, so I'm going to go get ready for that.
Well, I'll be out there with you, mate.
Yeah.
So Laura,
Yes?
we mentioned Eve earlier. We've got a book.
We do have a book. Don't ask how those two things are connected. Tell us about this book. What is it?
Well, it is a definitely satirical
Definitely
book.
not real, definitely satirical.
Definitely not based in reality at all.
Any coincidence is purely coincidental.
Coincidence. Hashtag coincidence is coincidental. It's about what it's like to be like, oh, I'm gonna go and work in the game industry because I love video games. Oh no, everything is awful, but funny. Imagine that, but really funny. And you get to meet all of the main characters' friends and all the relationships they have, and all the things they find out and all the things they do and how they try and save the world. Maybe.
Yeah.
And what it's like to be on the inside of dealing with the people at Supremacy Software.
It's Who Hunts the Whale. It's gone into pre-production.
Yeah.
It's now just that we've got to dot the I's and cross the T's and put it in a physical book.
Yep.
It's happening.
Yep.
There's no stopping it now.
No stopping it now. And
We
then
have unleashed it.
sometime around my hatching day, there is going to be thousands of copies to sign.
Yeah. We're going to have a flat full of books. And we'll just be sat there like, oh, yay.
And if you'd like to be among those books, you
Yeah.
can pre-order it now at unbound.com/books/whale.
Exactly. Yours can be one additional book that makes its way into our home. I sign it, then Jane signs it, and we put it in a box, and then it goes back to you.
Yeah.
Could be one of those.
It could have been here. We could have breathed on it.
I mean,
And written in it, obviously.
I think it's inevitable we will probably have breathed near it at least.
Yeah, there might even have been a smudge near it. Smudge
Oh,
might have nuzzled your copy.
there might be one singular hair between the pages.
Yeah, I mean, if it's been in our house, unfortunately, that's just a risk.
Yeah.
There's another book, though, that's coming out in, like, 5 weeks.
Dysphoria. Me and my dysphoria monster. It's
You and your dysphoria
yeah,
monster.
me and my dysphoria monster. It's coming out on the 18th of August, which is like real soon. It's like 6 weeks maybe away.
Yeah.
It's real soon. Go keep an eye out. Check it out. Pre-order it. Do all the things. Get a cool illustrated pitch book.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm at Laura K. Buzz everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
all the places. What about you?
Me, I couldn't get the unified branding like you. I couldn't do that, so I am. I guess I'm kind of on Twitter at the moment. I got told off for calling myself queer.
How dare you?
Which, considering that we run this podcast and I was only talking about myself, I'm not really sure if I'm even allowed to speak on Twitter anymore, but there we go. Streamerlinks.com/Janiac, JANEIAC. You can find links to all my stuff. There's a bunch of new t-shirts designs. You can even get a WHTW t-shirt. What could that possibly mean? Something about a horse, maybe?
He's a very relatable horse.
It's a very relatable horse, and you've already got that shirt.
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, that horse is so relatable.
Such a relatable horse. And I've got music under the name Bedroom Programmer. The most important one, of course, is my Patreon. Patreon.com/StonedMonkeyRadio, all one word. And for as little as $1 a month, you can help me justify a 76-hour work week and sometimes like 20-hour days.
Yeah.
Help me. Or if not, just sharing and commenting is super greatly appreciated. I have enjoyed the uptick on comments on the YouTubes recently.
Yay.
And people are very nice on the SoundCloud as well, so thank you very much for that. Laura, will you sing us out, please, darling?
Until next time, be a stranger.